Attorney General Merrick Garland has announced a plan to give federal help to cities around the nation which are seeing a surge in violent crime. There are a lot of them. It comes 1 year after the murder of George Floyd sparked new riots, violent protests, and calls to defund the police. Now, some strategists are warning the crime spike could be bad political news for Democrats. The latest Fox News poll shows 73% of voters believe there is more crime around the country now than a year ago, and 54% say there is more crime in their own local area. Senator Tim Scott, Republican from South Carolina, joining me now. Senator, thank you for being with me. First of all, what does this specific number and polling tell you about what's happening with crime across the country and how people see it?
Well, it's devastating. When you demonize police officers and then defund police departments, you should expect a spike in crime. You cannot make police officers the antagonists in the story. No one wants that. As a matter of fact, last year, year before last, I had A.G. Barr in South Carolina to meet with African-American leaders to talk about defunding the police. And every single one, about 50 in the room, said, that's the dumbest idea I've heard. So I think the Democrats, literally led by the liberal elite, have made a bad calculation and is costing lives. And we're seeing that in Los Angeles, we're seeing it in Minneapolis, we're seeing that in Detroit, we're seeing it in D.C., Baltimore. Violent crime is significantly higher, and murders, Harris, murders are through the roof. You cannot demonize officers, take away their resources, and expect them to do the job that desperately needs to be done.
So, Senator, real quickly, where is the legislation that has you negotiating at the center of it? How's it going on Capitol Hill? And when you say that many people, 50 in a room, agree that you can't defund, why aren't we seeing that stop?
You know, the good news is some of these cities are finally coming to their senses. Baltimore's mayor, who used to be the city councilman, who led the charge to defund the police by $22 million, now that his mayor is a $27 million increase he's looking for. So literally, we're having new conversations. Los Angeles New York City trying to restore $90+ million. There's a reality on the streets of America that we need character-driven officers coming into areas that everybody else is running from. And one of the reasons why I'm optimistic about police reform is we start the conversation talking with the police, so that when we talk about reform, we're not punishing or demonizing. We're going to strengthen the police officers' ability to have better relationships in the communities. That's what they want, and that's what the community wants.
And that's a two-way street.
And that's why it's good. It is a two-way street.
And that means that some of these leaders and some of these Democrat-led cities are going to have to sit down at the table with police. Otherwise, the conversation's going to run away from them. They're not going to be at the table because, as you said, the proof is in the pudding. When the crime spikes, you got to spend the money now to turn it around. I want you to see this.
Absolutely.
A new Fox poll shows that 58% of respondents say, Senator, that racism is a major threat to the stability of our country. However, another poll shows the vast majority of voters say they trust police and law enforcement. And those majorities hold among Democrats, Republicans, blacks, whites, Hispanics, no matter who you talk to, I would say, where you live, whatever the situation, you trust the cops. What does that say to you?
I think it's great news. It also reinforces what I've been saying for the last year, that the vast majority of officers want to do their job and go home to their family. For most officers, this is a mission driven by their soul to do good for their country and their community. African Americans, Hispanics, and whites all agree that the police, we are better with them than without them. That's also, by the way, Harris, we call in South Carolina common sense.
We call it that everywhere I've ever lived.
Okay,
Army
good.
bases
Glad to hear
alike.
that.
Let me get to this. Earlier this week, the family of George Floyd came to Capitol Hill, and I understand they met with you and some other top lawmakers, including President Biden. The clock is ticking to reach an agreement on police reform legislation, which you and I just touched on. Let's go deeper. Yesterday, you said it was, quote unquote, June or bust to get a deal done. In an interview, your Democratic colleague, Senator Cory Booker, praised your efforts leading bipartisan negotiations. Let's watch him.
I have had moments in this negotiation that have given me solace and strength as I've watched Tim Scott share stories about his own encounters with police. He is not caving to the politics of this. He is sincere. We may have disagreements on a lot of the parts of the bill, but I'm telling you, as a black man, Tim Scott is sincere in wanting to see us address these problems.
First of all, your reaction to that.
Well, that's awfully kind of Corey to have those comments come out of his mouth, and I appreciate them. I am a guy who has had really challenging experiences, as I've said before, stopped 19 times in the last 20 years as an African American, driving without speeding, simply just driving while black. But at the same time, I've gone door to door with police officers delivering Christmas presents in the poorest communities in my neighborhoods. And I will say that most officers are good people doing good work for very low pay. And so for us to not understand both sides of the coin is to go into an argument or to a discussion or a debate blind. I'm not blind. I have confidence in our law enforcement. I know that we can make it better. We can make it safer for the officers and the communities. And that's why I'm at the table, because I've experienced both sides, and I come out a champion for officers and will champion the cause of making communities safer and restoring confidence from communities for the officers, because the officers are willing to do what very few people can do and are also willing to do.
Senator, you said June or bust. Are we going to get a bill?
I hope so.
There you go.
Harris, I really hope so. I'm praying for a bill. I'm working on a bill every single day. We spend hours on this legislation.
And it sounds like you have some bipartisan, not just support, but some negotiation from that side of the table that might get the situation going forward. You and I have said it before. When a deal starts to cool, it's cooled. And so you put a date to it, and you'll keep us informed. You also have publicly taken on the rise of so-called woke capitalism. Let's get into it. During a recent Senate hearing with the CEOs of Bank of America, Citibank, Goldman Sachs, you, Senator Scott, asked them about their recent decision to sign a letter opposing what they call, quote unquote, discriminatory legislation after progressives' outcry over Georgia's new election law. Let's watch.
Seems like you all are very comfortable picking winners and losers, specifically those who signed the letter in opposition to Georgia. You all have taken such a strong, clear position, but can't or won't articulate the reason for that position.
So I thought that was a technical glitch. No one spoke up?
It was so quiet. I was stunned. I simply asked for a single reason why you do not support the Georgia law, and they had, not a single word was uttered, because they don't know why they don't support it, because as one person tried to say, it's how they feel about the law, not what the law says. Not what the law says.
The feelings.
Exactly. Harris, here's the funny thing. I think I asked a question. I said, early voting is now more in the law than it was before. They codified drop boxes that were illegal before. We're talking about having a law that makes it easier to vote but harder to cheat. What do you not like about the law? And one thing, they sat there for 40 or 45 seconds in silence.
But, you know, these are some of, and you correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not going to spit names because I'm not sure exactly who in the room that would be, but I know enough about politics to know that they are in line, some of them, with the talk about, yeah, go ahead and boycott that MLB situation, pull that from Georgia to Colorado, destroy that local Georgia economy by doing that, wokeness, blah, blah, blah.
Yes. Yeah, it's amazing, Harris, that you're talking about the largest banks in our country with the type of firepower and political power to really crush opponents. When they sign on to a letter that literally about a law that they haven't read and positions that they haven't really understood, it's stunning the impact that woke capitalism will have on our nation. When you say to people, because of their partisan affiliation, that we think you're bad, that you're a racist because you're a Republican, That is a dangerous message that will haunt us as a nation, and it's irritating because I understand the hard work being done on both sides of the aisle. We should not play politics with race. It is dangerous. We're seeing it today with our Jewish brothers and sisters. We've seen it with African Americans. We're going to see it with white folks as we start discriminating against them in the Farm Bill, the COVID package where we give money to black farmers but not white farmers. We cannot make legal discrimination. It's terrible for our nation, and we fought against it for the last 7 decades. I apologize for being a little emotional on this, but this is ridiculous.
No,
and it has to stop.
You're telling us things even in the Farm Bill that, you know, we're learning through you. Look, I know you have to go. You've got a lot going on Capitol Hill. I have one quick last question for you. I'm just going to put it out there. So Republicans have come up with a counter on infrastructure. Yes. Can it get done bipartisan? Are we going to see it? I
think it can. The goal must be to focus on the traditional definition of infrastructure, not $400 billion for family planning, not $100 billion for electric vehicles, but for roads, bridges, airports, ports, railways, and high-speed broadband. When we focus on those issues... What infrastructure is. Exactly. When we focus on those issues, Shelley Capital, has led the charge and brought together a bipartisan coalition that I think could transform the roads we drive on in America.
Senator Tim Scott, it has been an interesting few months as you try to push through several bills that you're working on. We appreciate your time today. Good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you. And I meant the COVID bill, not the Farm Bill, for the black farmers.
The COVID bill, not the farm. We got it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.